Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology Podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jin. He likes to wear Slim Jims and Graves, and we're here to talk about. We're slipping back into the Stranger Things. We're talking about Stranger Things Tales from 85, Episode 1. Welcome the New Kid. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Welcome to Hawkins, new
Oh,
kid.
welcome to Hawkins, new kid. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
And we kind of timed it perfectly, I guess, with our recordings to,
Yeah, we did.
to slip this in there to talk about this new show, which I just gotta say, I haven't watched all of it, I only watched the first episode. But this seems to be like the lowest rated season of Stranger Things so far,
Yeah. Yeah.
apparently.
Which is pretty crazy, I have to say.
I don't know anybody else's um like opinion on this
Yeah.
because I kind of wanted to not get swayed by anybody else's opinion before we
Yeah.
started to record and stuff about this. But how were you when you heard this was going to be announced?
Originally?
Yeah, originally.
I mean, I thought it was kind of weird. I mean, they are kind of piggybacking off of part of the other stuff since, they just had it in at the end of the last year.
Yeah.
Um So yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of a little quick on how they were doing some things with it, but like I said, they were going to piggyback off of it. Now the time period was kind of a weird change too of why they picked it right in between seasons 2 and 3.
I think possibly so they could play around a little bit more because there is that big gap of time between in the show, a big
Yeah,
gap of time between ending of season 2 and beginning of season 3.
yeah, yeah,
So I guess that probably where they had a little bit of wiggle room. I've heard some people say that this isn't technically canon and it's sort of like an offshoot or like spin-off type of thing because obviously some characters don't get referenced and they don't really talk about this happening at
yeah.
all. But I'm curious to see where this goes, and I really want to get into it and talk about this first episode. Like that's kind of my thing. Is like
Yeah,
I was like, is this canon? I like to think
yeah.
that it is canon in a sense because they do bring up a lot of
Um,
stuff.
yeah. One, I saw something saying too that it's very controversial how this is right now because people are watching it and saying, "Oh, this isn't true to the source material" or something like
Yeah,
that. And then also, uh, quick moment, I did also see that the Burrows comes out in May instead of at the end of the year. So
oh, really? And that's
yeah,
that thing that has nothing to do with Stranger Things, right?
that's the thing that has to do somehow with the stone from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much of a prequel it will be,
Yeah.
but I assume that's probably what it'll be. But yeah, it's like greenlit for like May 21st or something. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, I was like, you guys are putting these out pretty fast. Like,
Well, maybe they've been working on them, you know?
yeah. Well, and
You
I
know?
could see that they've been working on this,
Yeah.
because I know the Burrows, they were like, well, once we were done recording that, they started, I guess, finishing up the casting and stuff for the Burrows,
Mm-hmm.
and then actually starting to record like the day after, so like January 2nd.
Yeah.
So,
But
I mean, that
th-
until whenever it comes out in May, whatever recording schedule they have.
this is not live action, surprisingly. This is a cartoon,
Yeah,
which I will say a little jarring the first watch, you know,
I agree.
a little bit of like an uncanny valley type of situation.
There were part of the things, and like I really like Stranger Things, so uh I went into kind of part of these like trying to figure out about picking them apart.
Mm-hmm.
um so that was just my mindset going into it, like picking it apart into what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, I get you. But let's jump right into this
Hell
and talk
yeah.
about this first episode, which is only 30 minutes. Which I have to
Right?
say, I like that it's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like an hour 40. It's a solid 30 minutes. We get in,
Yeah.
we get out.
Yeah, so like watching the whole thing, it's only going to take you like 6 hours
Yeah.
or five hours.
Yeah, it's just like
Um
10 episodes. They're not all 30 minutes, but most of them are.
yeah, they're about 30, 27 somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we get this part where we have one of the guys that I guess I don't want to say he escaped from Hawkins' lab, but it's one of the guys in the yellow suits from Hawkins' lab that has like a flamethrower,
Yeah.
and he's chasing down this little creature that kind of looks like a demogorgon, but a lot more slender and kind of sort of made out of wood.
Yeah, it's really weird. It looks like a Demogorgon, but it's not. And he chases it down. And there was this part where like he starts spraying the fire and stuff, and it's like on a fence and goes like, "Wah!" And like
Yeah,
kind of yells at him or
he
screeches
burns it
at
up.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
and there was a part which made me laugh. It made me laugh because he kind of hesitates for a second, and then he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
just burns it.
Well, and the part that I thought was funny on this one is when it kind of stops out in the forest and he hits the thing to get it out there,
Yeah.
and it goes and it starts burning like the welcome to Hawkins sign or whatever it was
Hmm.
sitting there. I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, bro. Like you left that on fire. Somebody's going to catch that.
Yeah. And the thing ends up burning up, and these green particles go up into the air, and they end up
Yeah.
infecting the ground around Hawkins.
Yeah. Just in one area for
Yeah,
these
it's like in
ones.
the outskirts of Hawkins, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that, and everything that they touch kind of triggers something, and all the places end up making these weird vines with flowers on the end of them that look like
Yeah.
demogorgon heads.
Yeah. And then we get
Um,
our big opening
yeah,
where we see Mike trying to get ready for school. I like this opening. I like it a lot. Like it seems very Stranger Things,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I agree because so I watched this last night. I watched the first two last night, and then
Hmm.
I watched the first two episodes again, and the third episode tonight with my kiddo.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, this opening really felt Stranger Thingsy. Um, I mean, I enjoyed the opening of this more than I enjoyed like the opening of like season 4 and 5,
Oh
where
yeah?
they tried to kind of give us that illusion that hey, we're still like with the kids, kind of sort of. But this one really still had it set in. I think because, like you said, Mike's running around, he's trying to figure all this stuff out. Um, what's her name? Karen's design was a little weird because I don't feel like the Karen's
Look,
character really looked like her.
look, we're just gonna say it right now.
Yeah,
Mrs. Wheeler was still hot looking, just saying. Miss Wheeler
in
still got it, even in
in this,
animated form.
I don't know. It didn't really look like her at all.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like they're very much taking like I don't want to say liberties, but they're exaggerating like the way the characters look in this art style almost. I feel like they they have it down just right where they all do kind of look like the actual characters or
Yeah,
actual
yeah,
actors, I would say.
yeah. At that time,
Yeah, and I really like this scene because we see them and we see like Lucas getting ready and Max getting ready and stuff, and 11 wakes up and she's uh you know freaking out because she has to go to school, but she technically doesn't go to school, and we see like uh what was it how am I blanking on his name?
Dustin.
Dustin, thank you, Dustin. Dustin, he's already at the gas station buying Pop Tarts, playing Centipede, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah,
Which I have to say, some of the cast of the new cast, I would say for this show, hit it out of the park, and they sound almost very, very close to the actual actors.
I agree.
I think Mike does very well, Max does, and then Dustin sounds almost like uh,
Yeah,
Dustin.
yeah.
You know,
Well, and mine was Mike, um, Mike, Will, and Max. Those ones sound virtually spot on.
yeah,
Lucas, not per se
no,
that much at all. Like Lucas's voice actor kind of sounds like Lucas from season 1
hmm,
when he would still do stuff and his voice would kind of crack. Um,
yeah, yeah,
that's kind of what he sounds like. It doesn't take a lot away from it, but I
no,
mean, the first time watching it, it did kind of feel weird. And
yeah,
then I didn't have a problem with Dustin's characters in episode 1, but in later episodes, if he starts talking too fast, you can clearly tell that it's somebody else voicing Dustin.
oh yeah,
Um, yeah, because there's just certain spots that when you hear the voice, it almost sounds like the kid is trying to say it where he's acting like he has a list, but he doesn't. And it's
yeah.
almost like he overextends his letters sometimes, and you're like, that's not
In
exactly
but in like reality, Dustin's actor did have a lisp.
right, right.
You
So
know,
you can clearly tell like this person's trying to fake it.
yeah, but I will say, like, I think the cast does a very passable job. You know,
I
with
agree.
this first episode, you know, it is a little jarring at first, but once I like rewatched this episode, I was like, oh, they do a decent job.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do a very decent job of capturing these characters, that we all love.
yeah. The only other weird problem I had right at the beginning is after well, two things I guess. Hopper sounds completely weird.
Yeah,
um like doesn't sound close really at all. So that was kind of weird. I do like the slapstick jokes that they have. Like Mike had gotten a thing of donuts for him,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he gave them to Hopper, and he goes, "Are you buying me these just because
I'm a
cops
cop.
like donuts?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, joke's on you. Everybody likes donuts."
And then he gets the jelly on his shirt, and he's like, "Son of a shirt."
Yeah, yeah.
Which,
So I mean, there
which
was stuff added into it that was funny like that.
it kind of makes me wonder if like this is really. I don't know who this is really geared towards because it seems to be more family friendly
Yeah,
than like the TV show where they would like swear and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, who is this really for? Like,
I mean, I think that the original one, you could technically watch it with your kids. You know, of course, you have to know the maturity level of who's watching it,
yeah,
especially on like Barb's death and some other things like that. But for this in particular, I think it is more of a family friendly one because they're kind of trying to use it as that jumping off point, like, hey, get your kids into it, but we're still also going to use these jokes and things for adults that are kind of in it. Like
yeah,
you knew that what Hopper was really trying to say instead of saying shirt,
hmm,
you know.
yeah,
But I mean, part of the other stuff that happened in this first episode was like spot on. Like
yeah,
them going like, and I like the little details of different things too, like that we had already had, right? Um, and the music was on point. Let's just say that
oh
music
yeah,
was
no,
on
most definitely.
point.
They
Like,
played was it Kids in America? I think it was.
yeah, that was the first one
Yeah,
for them doing this, but they basically got ready, and Mike went and picked up Elle, and basically like had to promise Hopper like, hey, I'm not going to get 11 into any trouble,
yeah.
and whatnot. And the kids are trying to figure out how to have like a really good vacation,
Because
kind of
spring
sort of.
break's coming up.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, well, we still got to go to school today. We'll figure it out later on. The weekend's around the corner. And they Mike picks up 11. They get there, and he actually gives 11 his bike. And we go back to season 1 where it's like, hey, come back at 3:15, three
Mm-hmm.
fifteen,
Yeah.
and whatnot. And basically, that's kind of what they would do is he would give her his bike. And it's very reminiscent, I feel like, on relationships if you have one car.
Yeah. No, most
You
definitely. Because
you drop your spouse off and they're like, oh, bye, I'll see you later. And
and
then
then
you go do something.
in your head, you're like, I hope she picks me up later and doesn't forget.
Yeah, yeah, like that's exactly what it was feeling like with this. So I mean, that was like a really cute part of it. But we go in and we find out too that Mr. Clark isn't going to be around more than just this episode. Which Mr. Clark's voice sounded like it was Mr. Clark's voice.
Yeah, yeah. Which is weird. He takes a sabbatical.
Yeah,
Which
I wonder if they only could get him like long enough, and he wanted more money than they wanted to shell out. So,
I don't know.
um,
Well, I mean, like, well, I don't know if Mr. Clark was in the show. Like, is he? Does he voice Mr. Clark in the show? In this show?
I don't know. It sounded like him.
Yeah, because
Um,
it was just weird. Because like, here's your substitute.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Which was it
I,
was a weird. It was just a weird scene.
yeah, it was kind of a weird scene, and maybe they did it as a tie-in for the new character. Well,
Maybe.
I guess characters.
Yeah.
Um, but we do have that part. We missed a little part before that where, um, I want to say, and this is a question I had for you.
Okay.
Do you think that the kids, when Will was trying to get into his locker, do you think that was, oh God, what's his name? The two kids that Steve hung out with originally?
I don't know because they're in high school, but like the kids are in like middle school, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I thought that's who they were. I can't remember the names right now. It was
It was Tommy.
Tommy H and
Yeah,
Carrie, maybe
yeah.
Callie,
I don't
something
remember
like
what her
that.
name is. I don't remember what her name is. She's
Yeah,
not important.
but yeah, I thought that's kind of possibly who these two were. We didn't really have a name put to them or anything. Um,
No,
like there was just plenty of stuff that we didn't actually
because
have that
like
was part of that.
they were getting really excited about playing Dungeons and Dragons next week,
Yeah, yeah,
and Mike's like, "Oh, I got a new module. I got this and this, so we got to get some supplies and stuff and whatnot." And
yeah.
Will's
Because
what?
if we have two new people joining us,
Yeah, and Will's like, "Oh, well, I got some ideas too," and which I kind of was curious if like what his ideas were.
yeah,
Like, but he like tries to get his backpack out and he bumps into this girl, which leads to her getting stuff on her shirt, and Will's gonna get beat up now. And this is where we get the introduction of our new character, Nikki,
yeah.
who is like a punk rock chick. I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw her, I thought it was a guy.
Oh, I thought I was gonna hear you go, oh my gosh, I'm reliving King of the Hill.
Oh,
Because
how?
she looks very close to what's her face?
Oh, Willow?
Willow. Yeah.
No, she does not. You're fucking blind. You're so fucking blind. They do not look alike.
Oh, same vibe, same vibe. Um, but I mean, like, she's bigger than the other two kids. She's bigger
Yeah,
than our kids. So that was something that led me to believe that maybe she was grades higher than they were.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
possibly, yeah. And
yeah.
she
So
kind of intimidates the kid who's gonna beat up Will, and she's like, "Oh yeah, nice to meet you," stuff like that. Same Letterman jacket, just different place. I think it was what she said. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
uh, and Lucas, judgmental fucking asshole.
yeah,
He's like, "Who was her barber, Mister T?" And then which leads to Max being like, "Oh, punk rock, I like that. Cool thing."
yeah. And
Uh,
there are different things in this too that are like that I think are really fun. Um, because she ends up saying something to Will that is a reference to like old media or something. I can't remember what it
Oh, it
was.
was the Misfits.
Not
The,
that
the
one, because I knew that happened, but there's something else that happens later on in this episode.
oh, okay.
Um, and I can't remember what it is, but it was really good. Like that's one of the things I like too, is that this season feels more of like the reference of what we were covering in season 1 and 2 that we had that was enjoyable.
Yeah,
Uh,
and we do spend a lot of time with the kids in this.
yeah,
Like it seems to be
um,
very kid focused.
yeah. Which we did miss one little part, which was when Dustin's trying to meet up with them, he ends up getting attacked by like two bullies, kind of, sorta.
Yeah, was it like
And
Scumbag Charlie,
yeah, Scumbag Charlie and
Dirtbag
I think Dirtbag Ryan,
something? I don't remember what his name was. One was
Jeff,
Scumbag.
Dirtbag Jeff.
One was Scumbag. One was Dirtbag.
Yeah. So they do all that jazz, and he runs off, and that's when we find out that what these spores had kind of implanted themselves in. They implant themselves in these vines that will grab a hold of people and basically like use them as a host for something else. Um, so we find out that uh, one of these things gets Dirtbag Charlie, and then out of nowhere we kind of have this weird creature that looks like a snow shark.
It doesn't
That
even look like a shark
yeah, no, it looks more like after it's revealed or in the snow.
after it's revealed.
Okay, yeah, no. In the snow, it kind of looks like it's a lizard spine, like a
Yeah,
iguana. And you just see this thing like go through, which I will say by the end of this, I have questions with this creature because sometimes when you look and the kids are running on snow
hmm
and you can clearly tell that it's like an inch of snow
yeah.
compared to some of
Like
the other
like
places that
where
it
did it
is.
go?
Yeah. Where there's some other places where it's like, hey, there's like there's like 3 feet of snow here. Um, that makes sense. But
Uh
when
huh.
you get this creature to some of the parts where it is like going and the kids are clearly standing on the snow and you're like, yeah, that's less than an inch. Like it's not even going over their shoes.
Yeah.
And you see this creature going, I'm kind of like, did you guys miss a detail here?
I was
Like
kind of wondering if it was like burrowing under the ground.
it's just under the snow.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I kind of was thinking the same thing, but it never really messed up the ground wherever it
Mm.
went. I mean, it messed up the snow, but just not the ground.
Yeah, no, there's a part later on when we get into it. I'm gonna be like, where did this person go? Because uh,
Yeah,
the snow is not that deep at that this one part.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Well, and the part that I'm referring to is when this thing is going through that little park area,
yeah.
and clearly, like the snow is like less than an inch, and I'm like, why does this thing have snow over the top of it? That doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we have that. We have where the Ryan kid gets attacked, dragged off somewhere,
hmm
and then
They both get dragged off.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have where like we said, where we go to the school, everything else like that. Stuff happens at the lockers, and then we have the introduction of the new teacher, um as Mr. Clark is stepping away for like 2 months.
Which they're not happy.
Yeah, they're like,
They're
come
not
on, Mr.
happy at all.
Come on, AV Club doesn't rest, and he's like, AV Club will do okay without me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
They were
and
giving him the death stare.
yeah, and then their new topic that they're sitting on is they're supposed to start learning about evolution,
Evolution.
which this plays a very big part in this series, I would say.
Oh,
Um,
later on.
in general,
Okay.
it does get brought up later on, but it plays a big one. When it does get brought up, you're kind of like, oh yeah, well that's already happened in episode 1 and episode 2, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, as you kind of have all this different stuff happening. Anyway, back to where they're gonna try and I don't want to say extort, but they're like, hey, we're gonna get some money for these
Oh no,
things.
they're fucking extorting.
Yeah, I know exactly how we're gonna get it. This is Lucas's idea, and that is we're gonna take 11 to some of the richy hoity-toity neighborhoods, and
And use her as a human snowplow.
and for $5, we're gonna clear off these people's driveways.
Yeah.
Um, and
Because of why do they want to do this specifically?
they want to get
So they can play
characters
Dungeons and
and
Dragons,
items and stuff for Max and 11.
right?
Um,
Oh, you just cut out there, so I have no idea what you said.
I just said that they were getting items for Max and 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it dropped me for a second. It was really weird.
I know that was weird.
But yeah,
Anyways,
they're gonna get items for Max and 11 so that they can play this game of D&D.
yeah, which is fun.
And
When it's funny seeing like how they have their money
yeah,
and they just throw it out on the table. And be like, I got this, I got this. Dustin's always about the fucking snacks.
right. Um, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't have enough. We're gonna do this." And then seeing Dustin try and, which it's different. It's different seeing him trying to pick up girls his own age,
Versus
and
somebody who's like in
and
their
and
80s.
how he acts, and then commenting on an old lady in her 80s for them to give them $5.
Yeah, which is funny. It's a really funny scene.
I was like, this is a little creepy.
It's a little funny scene because she's like, okay, like go ahead, do it. I'm gonna go watch my
Okay,
shows.
sweetheart.
Yeah, and we see them, and they're like, oh, we can make all this money in like the matter of minutes.
Yeah,
Which I don't know if they forget how long it takes for Elle to like recharge her fucking batteries.
Well,
At this point,
my whole thing in it too was, do you guys understand how fast she could clear one of those? And clearly, if an old lady walks out when you guys are going to pick it up, even if she's watching her shows, you should still be out there longer than an hour.
yeah.
And I'm kind of sitting there like, okay, so even if 11 does this, how are they going to actually make the money for this
Well, I
without this
guess
lady
there are 5 of them,
being
or
skeptical
six of
about
them, or
it?
whatever.
That's true too.
There's quite a bit of them, so I guess they could do it real fast if they use
Um,
teamwork.
which she was like, yeah, usually she has Mr. Plow come and do that, which again, that I think that was like a joke they were trying to reach for, and I didn't catch it the first time watching it. Well, I kind of did, but I was like, is this supposed to be some kind of a weird innuendo for Mr. Plow being like a gentleman that comes to visit these old ladies?
Oh, and he plows them.
Yeah,
Maybe I didn't get.
not
I
their
didn't
and
pick
not
up
their
on that.
snow,
I
not their
didn't pick up
snow.
on that at all.
But
No,
I
I
was
get what
like,
you're saying.
I was like, this is kind of weird. Like, and I was just trying to figure out if that was a joke that was placed in here for that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Uh, I mean, how we kind of got the whole Hopper, oh, shirt.
Yeah,
It's
I
getting
didn't pick up
weird.
on that. That
Yeah.
went over my head. But Elle starts to use her powers, and Mike freaks out at this point. He's like, "No, we
Yes.
can't do this. Hopper's gonna kill me. We can't get her in trouble." And which leads to a snowball fight. Which I like this scene of
I
them
did too.
having a snowball fight. I thought it was really fun, very sort of reminiscent of season 1, season 2 Stranger Things when they have like in the beginning, before like
Yeah.
all the creepy stuff happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's like getting to see them go to the arcade, getting to see them do other things, which I will say I love that the arcade is a more prevalent thing of what I've seen so far in this season.
Okay.
Um, it becomes almost kind of like a weird headquarters for them.
Oh.
I kind of want to know if they made that choice so that they wouldn't have to worry about the other family stuff, the other families at all.
Possibly. I mean, we haven't really seen any other characters
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
and they do say they want to keep like everybody else out
Yeah. Yeah.
at one
So,
point. So
I mean, we did kind of like have like a little thing of Jonathan. We did have like a little thing of Nancy. Um,
Yeah.
we had little bits and pieces of like some of the other characters, but nothing like yet. And one of the things for this first episode is we don't see Steve at all during
No,
this at
no,
all.
it gets points docked because we don't even get to see Steve. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know if I would dock it points for not seeing Steve,
No, I dock
but
it points for not
it's
seeing
really
Steve.
weird.
Yeah,
It's really weird that they didn't show him.
I dock it points. No Steve. The rating goes lower. Just saying.
That's okay. I feel like you're gonna eat your words because we'll be covering one of these other things, and you'll get to be like, oh well, Steve was technically at an interview most of this first episode or something. Because how is he gonna get a job at Scoops Ahoy? I mean, hello.
Well, the
Um,
mall isn't finished yet at this point.
that's true. I mean, it
Yeah.
does get brought up. Um, which when they're riding bikes, did you know the spot that Max brought up? I
No.
think she called it like a J Whippies or something.
Oh. Yes. Sam Goodies.
Yeah,
Sam
that's what
Goody.
it was.
So Sam
J
Goody
Whippies.
is kind of like it's like a music store almost.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I had never heard of one of those before until this, and I was like, I had
Yeah,
to look it up.
it's like a music slash media store.
Yeah,
They were big in like the 80s and 90s,
yeah.
along with Suncoast videos and stuff like that.
So, well, and I knew that if they would have said that one, I would have gotten it. But
Yeah, but
I've never heard of the Sam Goodies.
they're all excited because the mall is going to come up,
Yeah,
which is funny. It's funny because the mall plays such a big part in the next season or whatever.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, and that's one of the things I want to go off of what you said that you heard of where people are like, "Oh, this is not canon." I'm going to argue against that and say that this is very canon because I feel like the whole team making this went through very great lengths just to make sure that this fits in
fit
between seasons
no,
1 and 2
and I think
or 2 and 3.
I think they do a pretty good job of lining things up so far.
Yeah.
My problem with it is the monster that we never heard of and
Yeah.
the new character that never gets brought up,
Yeah.
which I don't know, or even what happens. Like they're like, oh, remember over the summer, like blah blah blah, but they never do that. So like, I mean, I want to think of it as canon, I really do.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll change my mind later, and maybe I'm just being very fucking nitpicky at this moment,
You're
you
being
know.
very fucking nitpicky at this moment.
But we'll have to see where it goes, because some people's like, oh, this is like an offshoot or something, It's not like 100% like
Yeah.
canon. It's like alt canon or whatever the fuck it said. I don't
Yeah.
remember. But yeah, but I guess people can see it as how they want, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do agree with you that so far it's been like those notes,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like it's fitting into place, I feel like.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah. But do you want to get to the big part of this where
Yeah.
they do get to the
Well,
monsters?
so the snowplow man gets out of his rig
He's
and
very territorial.
he's arguing with the kids about how they're basically encroaching on his space, like they don't need to do that. He's the one that controls basically like doing all this different stuff, which he had yelled at him earlier in the thing. And while he's arguing, something comes up and grabs a hold of him and drags him off. Which this is
Where
the
does
part
it
that you wanted to
where
know,
does
right?
it take him?
It takes him into the woods.
But the snow is not that fucking deep.
So in the snow that it's going through on the street, that is deep. That is like up to the kids' legs, like
Is
past their
it?
knees. Yeah.
Okay.
Um the where it takes the guy, I think, yes, you could argue if it took him under the stuff, it was under enough that the guy could be under the snow, and then it basically probably took him to one of the vine things. Um, because by the end of this, we find out the vines play a big crucial role on some of the things, and I think that we will find out if that guy is a part of whatever this system is later on. Um,
Yeah, because at one point, like it grabs Dustin and like drags him under a car.
yeah, drags him under a car, tries to do part of this other stuff, knocks over some trash cans because it can get technically underneath them going through the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Some other little things like that, and and 11 ends up having to bust a tree to get it to not take
Yeah,
him. Which
I I I will
I
say,
I like the part in reference to it being a snow shark as or like a sand shark too, like we've seen in other media.
yeah.
Um, especially at the part where Lucas and Max are on the snow rig
Oh yeah, and they're trying to
and
like,
it starts running into it and ends
yeah,
up knocking off the e brake and
almost kills Lucas.
yeah, almost kills Lucas. And you're just like, oh my god, what else is going on here?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
my one argument though on this part that we're talking about is though where Dustin is standing on a brick wall and it runs into a brick wall on one side of it and Dustin falls on the other, and we didn't see a tread of where it had come around the wall to get Dustin.
yeah. I was kind of curious. That's why I was asking. Like, does it like dig under the ground? You know?
As far as I know, it only digs underneath the snow.
Hmm.
I don't think it digs under the ground, which is kind of weird for the kind of creature that it should be, but I don't think it goes deep enough.
I will say I like this scene. I thought it was very well animated,
Yeah,
and like the tension was kind of high a little bit. At this point, and we haven't even seen the monster, which is one thing I like. I
yeah.
like that they held off on the monster.
We've seen the spines, but we haven't
Yeah,
seen
we haven't
the
seen like the
thing.
full monster, like the full
Right,
body. You
right.
know?
And that was another thing too I liked because we do see these spores kind of like come out of creatures that die, and
Hmm.
then we see vines pop up. And you're kind of sitting there like, well, hold on. When I saw this vine creature, there weren't spines that were popping out of it. What is this thing?
Yeah, like is it infecting? Is it affecting
So it
animals?
it almost leads you to believe a different way. And I will say I think we're under the ruse of the TV show as well. Um, that whenever the vine things were around, like it usually went into somebody's mouth like an alien or in
Yeah.
species, which is how we kind of see like when it gets Will, and in
Hmm.
season 5 when it gets the kids. Um, it kind of like sets up like a nutrition system for all these people. And in this, it just kind of covers the person's mouth and goes from there. And so I feel like because of the media we've already watched for it, you're kind of like, oh, Charlie is going to be in a cocoon thingy somewhere. Not
Well,
that by the end of this, where we find out that he's inside of it.
we find that in the next episode.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
like at
You're
the
right.
beginning of the next
You're
episode.
right. Yeah, it's. I'm like, we're pretty close.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, slight spoiler. Um, but
but
yeah,
but yeah, the kids are like, "Oh my god, we know what this is. It's some kind of Demogorgon. Why is it here? We've closed the gate, and like we need to take care of this. But we're not going to tell the grown-ups.
right.
No grown-up involvement."
And
And
we're not going to tell Hopper.
yeah, and I like it this scene where Max is like, has anybody like thought about what Elle wants to do?
Yeah,
Like and her like feelings on this, and they're like, no, like we didn't think about that, which very selfish on the boys' part of this. Just saying.
yeah. Which it's really weird how sometimes Mike seems a little standoffish with everybody to like show Elle how to do things
Yeah.
or to have an experience with Elle, and it's like he's kind of strong arming everybody away from her in particular sometimes.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
get you.
he did it once in this episode, and I can't remember where it was, but it was very odd. Um, like he's very possessive.
No,
Uh,
he is. He is, because, he was looking at that picture earlier of
yeah,
them at the snowball. I mean, no, he fucking is very possessive. Even in season 1, he's like,
yeah,
stay away from my lady.
but he seems even more possessive in this one.
Yeah, he hasn't learned yet. He hasn't learned. Um, yeah, so they decide to actually go try to capture this Demogorgon or whatever it is, snow Demogorgon shark thingy.
Yeah.
And they decide to do it outside of the mini mart, I think it was.
Um, I think so. It was in a parking lot
Or
that
was
was
it the
kind of
arcade? I can't remember.
no. Well, and I don't think it was the mini mart place either. It was some parking
Building.
lot that was somewhere.
Yeah. And we
That
have
was kind of like a
Elle
strip mall.
we have Elle and Mike on lookout. Uh Dustin, no,
As
sorry,
bait.
it was bait, which we'll get to that. Um Will is like in like attack mode with his hockey stick.
Yeah.
And then we got bringing up the rear and, like, I guess capture position is Max and Lucas with the wrist rocket. Just saying,
Yeah. And hiding behind a bush.
hiding behind a bush. And I
Yeah.
love this scene where they're like, okay, like, we're in position, and then Lucas is like, Dustin, stop moving out of the kill zone. And he's like, do we have to call it a kill zone?
Yeah.
Which
And
this
then
felt very much like the show.
yeah, yeah. And then Mike's like, all right, Lucas, let's stop calling it the kill zone.
Yeah. In which we get Dustin wearing probably like 80 Slim Jims. It
Yes.
seemed like.
And then the kid thing, like to argue about it, like why am I holding on to all these Slim Jims if like we don't even know if sharks like Slim Jims. Well, it's better than Will's idea of covering you in raw fish.
Yeah.
He goes, but sharks like fish, like.
Yeah.
So some of the things like that are just like little cute moments that I really enjoyed too, because you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did we go from here to here?
I know. I don't know. I don't know how he went from here to here.
Yeah,
But they end up actually finding the snow shark Demogorgon thing. I'm just going to call it the Demogorgon, because that's what it basically is, kind of. Uh, and they find out that it's like not really near them. It's out near the park.
yeah,
And it's kind of taking the bait, but it sees some pizza because they were talking earlier about getting some pizza, which
yeah,
apparently they're getting the deep dish pizza, I think it was, right?
yeah. There's a new spot that opened up that they were going to get deep dish pizza at.
Which we talked about in our Stranger Things TMNT episode, why Lucas was so infatuated with pizza.
Yeah,
Do you think we just missed it the entire time?
I don't know because I didn't hear I haven't heard them bring up pizza except for the first episode.
I don't know. I don't know. But they see this and they're like, oh my God, it's on the move. And it's after the new kid, Nikki, who is going through the park at this moment. She has on her headphones, listening to some punk rock music, eating her pizza,
Looked like she was listening to her Walkman.
her Walkman. And they're like, oh my God, we have to go get her. And I actually like this scene where we see her walking through and the snow starts to get like deeper
I
as
just
she.
no, it gets lighter. This
Is
is
it?
the part. This is the part that I was telling you about that I don't understand how this creature is moving through it when there's less than an inch of snow.
At one part, it seemed like she was actually struggling to get through the snow.
It was when she was closer to the wall,
Yeah,
and when she first walked into it. But then whenever it goes by the statue, there shouldn't be anything there.
but I like
Um,
this scene where we see the monster like going after her, and they're all like running and yelling, And I like this scene specifically because Lucas uses his wrist rocket and knocks out her Walkman, which to get her attention, which I thought was a pretty creative thing to do.
One first and possibly last best use of the wrist rocket.
Maybe.
um,
Other
I
than
hate to say
season one,
that. I had to say that, but
other than season one, probably the best use of the wrist rocket.
not even season one because Elle did it. You know,
Yeah, but remember, he thought he did it with the monster killer rock.
yeah, but I don't. I'm talking about like where he actually did something with it.
I know. But we see, and then she notices, and she starts running. She like drops her pizza and starts running, and she jumps over this little wall, and then we get the big reveal of the monster. Which
Yes,
I like the design of the monster. I think it's kind of cool.
I do too.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
yeah.
Just because like this one doesn't really have a slit mouth like the regular
No,
Demogorgon,
there's a big
where it kind of
hole.
looks like a flower. Yeah, this one looks more to me like a suckerfish.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And it's got the spines, and then it's got little like spiky legs. Which some of the other stuff I feel like it makes sense where it attaches to.
Mm-hmm.
This one I was kind of like, what creature was supposed to be in the snow for this to like attach to it? Maybe there was like a lizard or something that was hibernating under the snow. I don't know, but it seems like that's kind of what it reminded me of, was more of a lizard.
Yeah. But what did you think of this episode?
I liked it. Besides like the few gripes that I had on some of it, I mean, I didn't really expect like the voice actors to be spot on all the way. The way that the story really fits in, like it's fitting in between seasons 1 and 2 really good. Like I think people did their research. Of course, like we already talked about the music. The music was very spot on.
I like the colors that they use.
Oh yeah, I love the colors of it.
Yeah.
And even though some of the designs are a little weird,
I did notice.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I did notice while I was watching, like we had like the Centipede logo and Jaws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at the stuff in Hopper's like little pantry area that he has.
Yeah.
And there's like a can of Spam on the thing, but it doesn't say Spam. It says Yummy.
Oh, that's funny.
And I was like, did they not get the Spam license? Like, what's going on?
Must not have.
Which I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, they must not have gotten that. But yeah, I mean, there's some of the other things I think in this that are really fun for the part that they're trying to make this season fit into. And I also think that it's just a really fun way of how they're doing part of the stuff. I do like the different creature. It is a little weird. Just knowing some of the extra stuff that will happen later on makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think this first episode did set up a lot of things very well. And that there will be things that will probably be better as it moves forward. And as of right now, besides like the small gripe on the creature and the other ones that we can't possibly get around, like the voice actors being just exactly spot on and some other stuff like that, I'm not going to be that upset on it just yet. But I would say I'd give this probably like a 4.5 for this episode.
Okay. So, I feel like the voice actors will probably grow into their roles.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't watched any more of the episodes yet, but like, I feel like they're gonna grow into their roles possibly. I like the way the show looks.
Yeah.
I think the show as I hit the table, the show looks really good. The animation, I think, looks good, because this is sort of like 3D cell shaded animation almost.
Yeah, yeah,
And like it could look really bad. Like we've watched some animated 3D shows where the budget wasn't up to par.
yeah,
And I feel like this one is up to par. I liked how the characters looked. They are going off of actual people. So, they have to take a little bit of liberties to like work around that and stuff. But
yeah,
I thought the animation was pretty fluid. I like the colors. I thought the episode for in a whole was like a fun episode.
yeah,
It gave me like season 1 and 2 vibes, kind of a little bit. I do have to say, when it came to like the tense parts with like the creature like grabbing the kids and stuff,
yeah.
I felt like that was a little bit lost because it was animated and it didn't have like that tension like in the main show, you know? Like
Uh,
that horror element, I would say. To me
uh,
personally, like it didn't 100%
yeah,
it didn't 100% grab me. But my big complaint about this, even though they're only a little bit in the first episode,
yeah.
I don't think the new character needed to be in the show. I think they could have just left her out of the show.
Oh, well, I mean,
I don't know if my views will change on her, but I was like, I don't think she's needed. Like, I don't think you need her. Uh,
well, I mean, just based off the first episode, I mean, you know that they're not going to give us very much into her character before it happens.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so um, that was kind of one of my things. I wasn't hung up on that character yet because I was like, well, we're gonna figure out and we're gonna fill out what this character actually adds to the story as we
yeah.
go. So that was one of the things I wasn't super worried about, but I was like, okay, well, we just got to wait for a second to see where is this going to go now.
I mean, to me at this moment, she just doesn't seem to fit the dynamic of the kids.
Yeah,
It just seems a little out of place, to be honest.
yeah. Well,
I
and you
think
said you haven't seen episode 2 at all, right?
Well, I've watched like the first maybe like 5 minutes of it
Okay, okay.
ish. So I know she knows what's going on and stuff, like about the
Yeah.
monster and all that stuff. I feel like she would fit probably more with like
Do
the
you
the, the teenagers.
do you want a slight spoiler?
Okay, okay.
And do you want a prediction that I have?
Okay, I'll take your prediction first, I guess.
So my prediction is the reason why we have a character like her is because they didn't want to reuse Steve, Joshua, and Nancy um, as the part of the character as the for the kids. I think
But
what they wanted to do was have somebody younger to their age, but
uh-huh.
still old enough to do other stuff.
But Steve's
Um,
in the show.
well, Nancy and Jonathan's in the show,
Yeah.
but we don't know how much Steve will be in the show. If it's as much as we've already seen of Nancy and Jonathan, that's like 5 seconds apiece.
I think Steve's gonna have a bigger role.
And he may, or he may just be kind of on the sidelines. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they placed this character in this was to have a character closer to that. And just knowing some of the other things, she very much latches onto Will. And I am wondering if that's going to play into anything extra.
Like lead
Um,
into his
yeah, maybe an on-screen thing of us talking about instead of waiting till we got to season 5 about him possibly being gay.
she's kind of
Yeah, you could say she's kind of butchy.
butchy or like I don't say like androgynous, but like butchy, I would say a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um
She's a little thick,
yeah, she's
up in the
muscular.
up in the shoulders.
She's muscular.
She's
So
muscular.
the slight spoiler
Okay,
that I'll give you is we know who her parent is.
is it the teacher?
It's the teacher.
Okay, okay.
Uh so not only do you add on that she's built the way that she is, she's also very smart.
Okay.
And I will say, I feel like part of the other thing that she does is the transition of this into where Dustin gets smarter about stuff.
Okay.
Um, because one problem that I do have with this, which isn't necessarily this first episode, but I think it's in episode 2, is where some things that Dustin does seems like they're very stupid options. And I'm kind of like, what happened to the Dustin that we knew that was pretty smart?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to still continuing this. I would give it like a solid 4. I
Yeah.
would say it wasn't 100% perfect. It did take me a little bit to like get into it.
Yeah.
And like at first I was kind of like it was almost like a little bit of an outer body experience watching it for the
Yeah.
first time cuz I was like this
I
is
see
not
that.
this is not my Stranger Things,
Yeah.
you know.
One, and talking about what we just did with Ninja Turtles or whatever, the new character does seem more of a Donatello character,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
really weird when you have the layout of how they fit in with the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I feel like part of it is going off of exactly what we already know that it is. Mike's head over heels for 11. 11 is very brand new still to the world, which kind of feels how she is at the beginning of season 4. Um, just because she hasn't experienced like anything.
Yeah.
Um, Lucas is kind of in that gray area with Max. Like, we know that the relationship's going to happen because of season 3, but it doesn't seem like it's happened there yet, between him and Max.
No, it
Max
hasn't.
Max is coming out, I think, more so as a very, which is one of my complaints um, with the Turtles comic, is that they kind of made Max seem like she wasn't all that smart of a character or whatever. When there's certain parts in this, especially even with just Lucas, Max almost, I would say, could take on the role of leader, because
Interesting.
she is very commanding on a lot of different stuff over Mike.
Yeah.
Um, and then of course, like, Dustin's kind of got this weird free will thingy that he's got going on right now, where it's just kind of an odd thing. You're not exactly sure um, that he's actually got his wits about him yet, which is all a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew he was good at video games, but other than that, this first episode we didn't really see that too much.
No, not really.
We saw his weird attempt at charm, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and then Will just kind of seems like Will. I mean, there's nothing you
Yeah.
can really
Yeah.
argue about with that.
Yeah, I feel like this definitely they can play in this little area in this little part of the sandbox, but I feel like possibly after this it'll go back to like status quo and lead
Yeah,
into season 3 or whatever.
yeah,
So we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to talking about it because we have 9 more episodes to talk about, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a decent first episode, I have to say. But Jen, where can they find you?
You can find me at Bard's Tavern on Instagram, soon to be YouTube as well. You can also find me a little bit on TikTok, not very much. And you can find me basically everywhere that Otakuology is located.
You can find me
Uh,
also at Otakuology.
yeah. And where else can they find you at?
And also make sure to rate and review the podcast, comment on our YouTube channel. Go check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. We got some cool stuff over there. You can also check me out at The Otaku Mike on YouTube as well. If you want to reach out to us, check us on our Instagram. That's the best place to check us out is Otakuology Pod. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out and stay safe.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.